Welcome to TechieShare. In previous video, we have discussed lot more information about linked list, right? Even though it has lot of feature, it not suit for finding the lost element in your list. The reason is for finding the lost element in your list, the traversal begin from 0th index to the target index because there is no previous pointer to point the previous node. So we can't iterate reversely. This is what the doubly linked list comes. In this video, we are going to discuss about doubly linked list data structure in Java. Before diving into the concept, if you are in subscribe my channel, please subscribe my channel for getting more videos on data structures. And don't forget to press the bell icon for getting instant updates from my channel. So let's dive into the concept. Doubly linked list is a linear data structure which looks like a single linked list, but here there will be extra pointer to point the previous element. In linked list the pointer will point the next element, but here the node will point the previous element as well as the next element. This is what the doubly linked list will be. We have already linked list, then why we go for doubly linked list? We understand the advantages over linked list. In linked list, suppose if you want to find the last element from your list, what you have to do? You have to traverse from your header element to the last element. Unlike linked list, here the traversal can be both forward as well as reverse direction. Insertion and deletion functionality will give better performance than linked list. Suppose if you are performing index and contains operation will be much faster than linked list because here the traversal can be in both direction. We understand the applications of doubly linked list. The doubly linked list also used for implementing stack and queue. It is also used for browser navigation and it is used in image viewer, music player. It is also used in undo and redo functionality and so on. So far we have discussed what is doubly linked list and what are the application. It has lot of feature, right? Even though it has lot of positive things, it has some disadvantages too. Let we understand the disadvantages of doubly linked list. Here there will be extra pointer for pointing the previous element, so it need extra spaces for recording pointing the previous one. For every operation we need to maintain the previous element information too, so it requires some extra operation to maintain that previous element. This is what the doubly linked list disadvantages. Let we implement this doubly linked list in Java. In doubly linked list, the data stored as a form of node. This node class is similar to linked list node class, but there will be a difference. Here there will be extra pointer to point the previous element. So I am going to create another one field for pointing the previous element called as previous. Now I am going to create one constructor for my node class. Here I have passed the value data. I am going to assign this data value to my data field. Now I am going to insert the data into my doubly linked list. Before creating that functionality, I am going to create some field which used for performing the operation in doubly linked list. The first one will be header element. It points to the first element of your doubly linked list, and another one will be the tail element. It will point the last element of your doubly linked list, and another one will be the size. It will track your doubly linked list size. That's it. As of now, head and tail will be as null by default and your size value by default 0. Okay. Now I am going to create add method in doubly linked list. Nothing but I am going to insert the data into my doubly linked list. The method signature will be public void add. Here I have to pass the value which I want to insert the data into my doubly linked list. The add functionality is similar to linked list add implementation. So what are the steps we have done in linked list for implementing add functionality? The first step will be you have to create one new node for inserting that node into your linked list. So I'm going to create one new node for inserting that node into my doubly linked list here. So I'm just creating one new node using my parameterized constructor. Here I have passed the value data. The next step will be you have to add the condition. What are the condition? When your list is empty, when your list is not empty. So the condition will be if head equal to null, then your list will be empty. So I'm going to add the condition if head equal to null, then the list will be empty. This is the first condition. Suppose if it is not so, it comes to the else condition. The final step will be you just increase your size value by 1 using size plus plus. So I'm going to implement the first functional condition when your list is empty. In that case, the new node will be as your head as well as tail. So I'm just assign head equal to tail equal to new node. Suppose if it is not so, in that case it comes to the else condition. So the condition will, in that case the logic will be tail dot next equal to your new node. After that the new node previous element will be your tail element. So new node dot previous equal to your tail. Once you have assigned like this, your tail will point to the last element, nothing but it will point to the new node. So tail equal to new node. Suppose if you are inserting the data again, so like 30, okay, so in that case what will happen, the tail dot next will be your 30, the 30 previous element will be tail. Once you have assigned like this, the tail will point to the element of 30. Okay, this is what the add functionality will be. Let me check this functionality in our application. Let I'm going to add some data to my doubly linked list. So initially I'm going to add the value 10, afterwards I'm going to add the value 20. Okay, I want to display this data in an array format. So what I have to do, I have to override my toString method which we have done in linked list. Okay, so I'm going to override the toString method here, so that I'm just typing toString. So the compiler has to override the method. Yeah, exactly right. The steps will be same as in the linked list implementation. So what I have to do, the first step will be I have to create either string builder or string buffer for storing the data in an array format. So I'm just creating one string buffer here. So I'm going to initialize this buffer using new keyword. That's it. Once I have create that object, I'm going to append the data in an array format. So that I'm just adding one square braces. Now I'm going to traverse the data. So the linked list, it will similar to linked list traversal. So current equal to head. Once your current is not equal to null, we are going to iterate the data. So I'm going to add one while condition here. While current is not equal to null, then it will iterate the data, right? So inside the loop, what you have to do, you have to append the data to your buffer. So buff dot append current data. Afterwards you have to append one comma for representing the data in an array format. So for the first iteration, the 10 will append to your buffer. Afterwards the comma will append here. After next iteration, the data should move to the next pointer. So current equal to current dot next. Okay, so the next iteration 20 will append to your buffer and the current will move to the 30 element. Now the 30 will append your buffer, the current will move to the next element. Now the current will be null, so the loop will get exit. Okay, once it's get exit, we are going to add one condition for avoiding unwanted tailing comma in your doubly linked list. The condition will be if buff.length greater than 1. If it is so, you just remove the last tailing comma from your string buffer. So I'm using delete char method. I'm going to remove the last element. So buff.length -1. That's it. This is we have already done in linked list data structure. Okay. Finally, I'm going to enclose this square bracket using close square bracket. That's it. So buff.append close square bracket. That's it. Now I'm going to return this buff.toString. That's it. So now I have successfully implement toString method here. Let we check this functionality. So yeah, it returned array format 10 and 20. Fine. Now we have successfully implement add functionality. We are going to implement add to index method. So add to index method nothing but you are going to insert the data in the specific index. So the method signature will be int data followed with int index. The index will be the target index which you are want to insert the data in the doubly linked list. Before implementing this functionality, I am going to create get method for fetching the data from doubly linked list. Why I am creating this method first means it will help you to accomplish your add to index quickly. So In your get method, the first step will be you have to verify the index range, which you have done in linked list. So what is the condition? If your index is less than 0 or if it is greater than size minus 1, then obviously your size index range will be out of range. So you have to inform the user using scissor statement. So index out of bound range. So once you inform the user, you have to return the minimum value of integer, which we have done in the linked list. So I'm just written minimum integer value. Suppose if you want to perform any other specific logic based on your business, you can perform as per your wish. Okay. So now the doubly linked list insertion logic will be, in doubly linked list we can traverse both forward as well as reverse direction. So you have to find it out the midpoint of your doubly linked list. How could you find the midpoint of your doubly linked list? You have to create one mid variable. So the logic will be size minus 1 divided by 2. So it will return the midpoint of your doubly linked list. Okay. So once you found the midpoint of your doubly linked list, you just verify whether your given index is less than your midpoint or greater than or your midpoint. So if it is less than your midpoint, you have to find the data forward direction. Suppose if it is greater than your midpoint, means you have to find the data in the reverse direction. This is what the difference between your linked list insertion and linked list get method as well as doubly linked list get method. Before implementing that logic, now I am going to create one field called target for find and store the data. Once I found the data from the find method, I have to return the value which I have stored the field called data. So I have to return target.data in my get method. Now I am going to implement find forward direction logic. Find forward direction logic nothing but it will be similar to find the traversal logic in linked list data structure. So what are the things we have done in linked list data structure for finding the data? Initially you have created one field called I. The I will pointing to the 0th index position. After that you have one node called as current node. It will point to the header element. What is your condition in the loop? When your current is not equal to null and your I not equal to index. If it is so, the iteration will happen. What will happen inside the iteration? Inside the iteration loop, you just move your current element to the next element using current.next. Afterwards you simply increase your I value by 1, so using I plus plus. So what is the first step? Current equal to current.next. This is the first step. Once the current move to the next element, then you have to increase your I value by 1, so I plus plus. Once you found the data from the loop, you simply return that current element for this method return value. That's all about find forward method. Now I am going to use this find forward method into my the first if condition. So instead of in the comment section, I am going to use this find forward method. So target equal to find forward. Here I have to pass the index value which is you have passed in the get method. So target equal to find forward index. That's it. Suppose if it is greater than the mid index, then it comes to the else condition. So you have to implement the logic for finding the data in the reverse direction. So it's not much differs for find forward. So I'm just copy the content from here and paste it here. I'm going to change the method name will be find reverse. Okay, so here the logic will be simple. For find forward, the starting position will be your header element towards to the last element, right? Here the starting position will be the last element of your list, nothing but the current will point to the tail element. Once it's not found the data, it will be traversed in the reverse direction. So you have to reduce your size will be minus minus, that's it. So for every iteration it will be check in the reverse direction. After the next iteration it will point to the 0th index position. Obviously your size also will get minus minus, that's it. Now I have used this find reverse method in my get section. So that's all about the implementation. Let I am going to verify this get method. For that purpose I am going to add one more data into my W linked list. The data will be 30. So ls dot add 30. Now my list has 3 fields 10, 20, 30. Suppose if I am trying to retrieve the second position of my list, so which data will come? It should return the value 30. Anyway, let me check that functionality. If I am typing second position data will be ls dot get of 2, it should return the value 30. Yeah, it will return the value 30. Fine. Suppose if I am entering the out of range index value, then what should comes? It should return the value index out of one range. After that, it should return the value, the minimum integer value, right? Yeah, exactly. It works fine as we expected. In our get method, we have done to find the node from the given index, right? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to implement this logic in a separate method for utilizing that method in some other functions too. So I'm going to copy the content from here and make one new method and paste this content into that method for utilizing some other methods. Okay, so I'm just copy the content from here. I'm going to make one new method called as find node. So it will return the node as a return value. The method name will be find node. Here I have to pass the index value. Okay, so in index I'm just paste the content which I have copied from my get method. So I'm just paste the content here. I'm going to change some appropriate changes. Here there is no need of target, so I'm just removing that content. So instead of that, I can replace this target equal to will be return statement. So I'm just adding one return statement here. So there is no need of else condition here, so I'm just removing that else condition. Instead of using else condition, I can use return statement here. So I'm just changing this else condition into as a return statement. So target equal to will be as a return statement. That's it. Now I have one util method for finding the node from the given index. Okay, now I'm going to utilize this find node method into my get logic. So I'm going to remove some unwanted stuff here, and instead of that I'm just call the method find node. Here I have passed the value index. That's it. So the method will works as works earlier. Okay, now we have a method for finding the node from the given index, right? So what we are going to do now, we are going to implement the add to index logic. The first step what you have to do, you have to verify the index range. So I'm just copy the content from my get method and paste it here. Okay, so here there is no return value, so I'm simply return so far breaking the statement. That's it. Now I have to find the target data from the given index. So node current equal to, I have a method find node for finding the node, right? So find node, here I have to pass the value index. That's it. Here is the logic will be, before find your node, you have to create one new node for inserting that node into your doubly linked list. So before found the current node, I have to create one new node for inserting that node into my doubly linked list. So the syntax will be node new of node. Here I have to pass the value data. Okay, so let it be the case, I want to insert the data in the first index. So once it found the index position, so current, once it found the current node, so in that case what is the logic will be, you have to find it out the previous node. How could you find the previous node? Current dot previous will be as your previous node. Okay, now the newly inserted node will be inserted between these two elements. So previous node next equal to your new node. So previous node dot next equal to your new node. Once you link with like that, your new node previous element will be your previous node. Okay, so new node previous link will be your previous node. After that, your new node next element will be the current node. So new node dot next will be your current node. After that, current node previous will be now the new node. Okay, so current node dot previous equal to new node. That's all. Once you have map like this, the data will be inserted in between the specific index. Okay, finally you have to increase the size value by 1. So what do you have to do? Size plus plus. That's it. Let me check that functionality. So I'm going to verify this add to index logic. Let I'm going to insert 40 at first index position using the method add to index method. So the method will be ls dot add. Here I have passed two arguments. One will be the data 40 and another one will be the target index 1. Okay, if it should add in between 10 and 20. Let me check. Yeah, it works fine. It will be added in between 10 and 20, right? Suppose if I am trying to insert at 0th index position, okay, in that case there is no previous element, so obviously your current at previous will get null, right? So we have to handle this situation. For handling this situation, you have to add one if condition. The condition will be if your current node equal to head element. If it is so, you are trying to insert the data at 0th index position. Okay, if it is in the case, you have to add one special logic, or else you have to execute the existing logic which you have implement just before. Okay, so inside, suppose if you are trying to insert the data at 0th index position, in that case what you have to do, your new node next element will be as head or current element. Okay, so once you map like this, your head previous element will be the new node. Finally, you have to move your head pointer will be the new node. So head equal to new node. That's it. So now the head will point to the newly inserted element. Okay, this is what when you are trying to insert the data at 0th index position. Let me check that functionality. Suppose if I am trying to insert that 40 at 0th index position, so what will happen? It will be insert before my 10th element. So let me check. Yeah, it works fine. The 40 will be added the initial data, right? Fine. So far we have discussed the insertion functionalities in doubly linked list and how to get the data from doubly linked list, right? In that time, I want to ask you something. Do you think doubly linked list is more efficient than linked list? Post your answer in the comment section below. In next video, I am going to continue this implementation for deletion and other functionalities. So stay tuned.